did. You know what your problem is? I ain't got no problem. Don't tell me.
Love and Hip Hop, Season 12. Atlanta had been full of drama, unexpected turns, and heated arguments, but episode 15 was a whole other level. Kendra Robinson, Jose's wife, was highlighted brilliantly as her plot developed in a way that fans had not seen in years. The world saw a side of Kendra in this episode that was entirely different from the one they were used to: strong, independent, and unflinching. As the episode began, Kendra seemed to be navigating a particularly difficult time in her marriage, and her relationship with Joe had never been easier. Kendra had been Joe's supportive partner, supporting him through ups and downs, and handling his career and public persona with grace even in the face of innumerable rumors. The pair had endured many hardships over the years, including Jock's turbulent relationships with other women, but Kendra had always stayed faithful despite the highs and lows that came with being married to someone in the spotlight, his prior errors, and the stress of balancing a family life and a profession in entertainment. But in this episode, it appears like things have reached a breaking point. Because of his charm, flirtatiousness, and penchant for drama, Jay has long been a well-known personality in the love and hip-hop industries. Over the years, audiences have witnessed him in a number of on and off again relationships, making it challenging to overlook his commitment troubles. But even when the world seemed to doubt him, Kendra had always been there for him, playing the part of a devoted wife. Despite Jock's devotion, the audience witnessed a very different picture. After weeks of emotional turmoil and silence between her and Jock, Kendra, a woman who was growing sick of Jock's antics, began to prioritize herself for the first time in years. It all started with a scene that felt like a revelation for Kendra, who was seen meeting with friends at a local cafe to discuss her marriage, her frustrations, and, most importantly, her growing feelings of discontent. Kendra had always been the more grounded one in their relationship, but in this episode, her patience seemed to have run out. Jock's actions, his inability to fully commit, and the constant chaos surrounding his career left Kendra wondering about her future. It was evident that she had grown weary of Ken and the strain of their marriage alone, particularly since it seemed like Jock was more preoccupied with the drama surrounding him than the security of their home. However, in the middle of these frustrations, something unexpected occurred. When Kendra met this new man, their chemistry was evident, and their shared moment had a tangible intensity that took onlookers by surprise. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to be more sensitive to Kendra's emotional needs than Jockey had been in recent months. It was pleasant to see Kendra's vulnerability in this exchange because it revealed a side of her that had long been hidden.
I have some younger eggs for the next I'm dealing with. That's how I felt. At this point, she said, let her do what she want to do. So I said, do what you want to do. I'm doing what I want to do. So,
what do you mean?
I'm doing what I want to do.
You can't do what you want to do, because the last time you did what you want to do, you stepped out on Kendra and had a baby.
I feel like we should have made a decision for herself, for me, and our future. And, here I am. It's kind of like, am I going to prove her right and do my thing? But I already know how she feels. She already told me what it is. It is what it is, man. I'm just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? You going to do what you want to do, whoever.
Jack, this is your wife. Maybe she's just hurt. You can't not care because...
But Gianna wasn't here when she said, I don't have kids with you. Nobody was here. I wasn't cheating with none of that. I was busting my ass to make sure I was providing for my family. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever.
That's a lot. I've never seen Jack like this before, so clearly Kendra little talk with him never go too well. I'm afraid that Jack is going to do something stupid.
The tension between Kendra's past relationship with Jockey and her current relationship with this new man created an emotional conflict that developed throughout the episode. She had spent a lot of time trying to make things work with Jockey in order to make her marriage work despite the constant emotional roller coaster. But with this new man, she was finally reminded of what it felt like to be valued and seen. Kendra was at a crossroads. She had always been devoted to her marriage and family, but now that something different might be possible, she started to wonder if it was still worth the emotional effort to stay with Jock. For the first time in a long time, Kendra recognized that she had the ability to make choices based on her own happiness rather than solely for the sake of her relationship. and the draw of a new beginning with someone who truly cared about her well-being looked alluring. Joss noticed that Kendra, the person he had previously been able to rely on, was changing as the episode went on, and he realized that the storms of his personal and professional lives were starting to subside. As he attempted to rekindle the spark that once existed between them, Jock's normally assured demeanor appeared to waver, but he encountered opposition. Kendra had changed since they first met, and those around her could see it. She was no longer the quiet, patient wife who put up with Jock's behavior. Instead, she was becoming a more assertive, unapologetic version of herself who demanded the respect and dedication she was due. In this episode, a confrontation between Kendra and Jock was unavoidable as Jock attempted to reestablish their relationship. Kendra had to make the difficult choice of whether to remain married. That appeared to emotionally exhaust her. Or would she eventually liberate herself and consider other options? Jock's frustration was evident as he attempted to justify his behavior, but Kendra wasn't buying it anymore. The facade of their picture-perfect relationship fell apart, exposing the issues that had existed all along. Kendra's meeting with the new man didn't mean she was ending her marriage right away, but rather it marked a significant change in her perspective. She was no longer afraid to put herself first, and she wasn't going to wait for Jock to change. Instead, she was taking charge of her own life, recognizing her value, and realizing that her happiness could not be dependent on the actions or failures of others. Kendra was still unsure about her next course of action as the program came to a close. Her and the new man's relationship left onlookers wondering if this would mark the end of her marriage to Joss. The emotional journey she underwent in this episode was about more than simply a new boyfriend. It was about empowerment and realizing that Kendra Robinson could follow her own path, regardless of where it led her. Her journey included love and hip-hop. In Atlanta Season 12, Episode 15, Kendra's character arc underwent a sea change. She was no longer merely a supportive wife. Instead, she was evolving into a woman who recognized her own worth and didn't hesitate to take charge of her future. The episode paved the way for a new chapter in her life that would test her marriage, her sense of self, and her relationships with Jock and the outside world. It was a tale of personal development and the tough decisions that come with letting go of the past in order to embrace a new beginning.
Because him not wanting to go has made me very suspicious.
Look, you deserve the absolute truth.
I thought I already had the truth.
Just listen to me. When me and you first met, you know what I'm saying? There were moments where our relationship overlapped very hardly in my direction. You gotta think, you and I was just friends for a long time.
The fact that you was just now telling me.
Entirely different Kendra after weeks of emotional turmoil and silence between her and Jock. Kendra was seen meeting with friends at a local cafe to discuss her marriage, her frustrations, and, most importantly, her growing feelings of discontent. This scene felt like a revelation for Kendra, who was starting to prioritize herself for the first time in years and was growing worn out of Jock's antics. Throughout their relationship, Kendra had been the more sensible one, but Jock's actions seemed to have exhausted her patience. His inability to fully commit and the ongoing turmoil surrounding his career had left Kendra doubting her future and wanting to be defined by her alone. Association with the Jock in the midst of these frustrations, it was evident that she had grown weary of bearing the burden of their marriage alone, particularly when it seemed that Jock was more preoccupied with the drama surrounding him than the stability of their family. Something unexpected occurred. When Kendra met this new man, there was an obvious chemistry between them that took viewers by surprise. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to be more sensitive to Kendra's emotional needs than Jockey had been in recent months. It was pleasant to see Kendra's vulnerability in this exchange because it revealed a side of her that had long been hidden.
So I know that you know. You deal with that, them your old ass, sad, sorry ass moments. You deal with that. I don't have to. You lucky I'm doing this with you.
That's the blessing, was making it look like it was more than what it was. You should have reached out. I'm not a bitch off the street. You got money with my family. Yeah, but I was getting money with him before you came along. It doesn't matter. You still owed me a compensation, girl. You've been in my house.
But see,
I don't owe anybody anything. You do. You owe me an explanation. You all up in my explanation.